Hello, welcome to the week two watch along for the Walrus Draft League Season 2. Joined again, like I'm Heja, joined again by Hayes, Gemma, and Shadowway. And we're going to be starting off this week by watching the week one game that we did miss in Fort Colors versus LittEleven. So we're just going to get straight up and jump right in. So it's very clear that Fort's team is based around the neutralizing gas wheezing, setting up his Regigigas and Toadscroll to do their things. Regigigas damage and Toadscroll fast 4. Whereas LittEleven's team is based around heavy Trick Room. You can see that Lit has designed a fast Scream Tail with Grass Terra. I presume that the Scream Tail is Grass Terra, so it can dodge Spore and then it can either Encore it or just annoy the Toadscroll's life. Whereas you can look at Ford's team, he has Ghost Terror on a couple of his mons that are weak to the Conkeldurr, which seems to be the big threat on the 11th team. So it's going to be a very focused around which of these two teams gets off the game plan, because both are pretty one-dimensional, and it's just see who's better able to play to their outs and win conditions. So yeah, start on first game. Okay, you see the classic neutralizing gas leading with Toadscroll, and that's fake out and Screen Tail lead. So immediately, when you see a neutralizing gas team, the first instinct for the opposing player is to take out the Wheezing as fast as possible, because once Wheezing goes down, the Toadscroll spores are no longer as threatening because of the lack of speed, and the Regigigas, if it is in the back, is just completely neutralized. So there's a chance that the Wheezing protects to avoid a double target into the Wheezing slot from the Berserker plus Scream Tail, which could be carrying a psychic move. So I think a safe play from Lit would just be a fake out into the Toadscroll slot and attack with Scream Tail into the Wheezing slot. There is the alternative, which is if the Berserker is carrying something like safety goggles, you could just insta Grass Terra the Scream Tail and just try to double target one of the slots. So we'll see what it goes for.
That was kind of my thought upon seeing this lead is that the Berserker, like, there's a good chance to me here that the Berserker is goggles, and just
Yeah,
immediately being next to the Scream Tail, so you can just kind of, if you want, you can kind of neutralize the Sporal for it. But I do think, yeah, the fake out into the Toadscroll is just safest. Probably attacking into the Wheezing. I think the Wheezing Terra doesn't change, which
hmm
honestly is an interesting decision from Fort. You can't really Terra
yeah,
out of of being weak. I feel like
yeah.
you'd want that here maybe.
It's
But
strange because he does like a couple of his monsters doesn't seem like he intends on turning them at all. Like, okay, I
yeah,
could see the Crocodile and Rakuno Terras being useful offensively, possibly, but the
yeah.
reason one, unless it's like a specific role on the Scream Tail and Osco villain that Sludge Bomb gets, I fail to
Yeah,
see him actually ever tearing this. It is to
with
be
the
said that there's a possibility that LittEleven, since his team is so trick room focused, that he might just fake out the Toad Scroll and then try to trick room up Screen Tail and try to get his game plan going up that way. Because
yeah,
the
I don't
Toad
think that's
Scroll
a bad
itself,
play at all.
yeah, the Toad Scroll itself also can run trick room, so you can abuse the Toad Scroll speed against it within the trick room, and so even though neutralizing gas is up, the Toad Scroll is still going to be slower than the stuff that it wants to put to sleep. So
Mhm.
yeah. Let's see. No fake out at all, and a psychic noise straight into the wheezing does very minimal damage. So that tells me that it's both a pretty specially bulky wheezing, and this is like a complete support screen tail with like no offense investment.
Yeah,
So you do
and
see
then
this,
there's yeah.
and you see a double
Um,
of taunt and spore into the screen tilt. So I think that was a
interesting.
interesting choice from LittEleven because you see that um he is a grass Terra, but it does seem like he doesn't ever intend to grass Terra the screen tail probably,
Yeah,
and it
like
was
that's
just
kind
a
of
fake.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, it
I think
does
it's a
seem to.
good. I think it's a good
So I feel like this is a good
play.
time to interject that after the match, LittEleven said that he forgot to put fake out on his berserker.
That is
That
interesting.
explains a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, Lit wouldn't. I mean, Fort would not have realized that, or he couldn't have predicted that.
Yeah,
So,
certainly
I
not.
mean, it seems like Fort was very intentional, very wary of a possible trick room from Screen Tail. So it
Mhm.
does look like it was like a double covering it. So
Yeah.
the only Screen Tail that would have been able to actually set up the trick room there would have had to be a Terra Grass plus Mental Herb. But
Mhm.
it can see that it does have a safety goggles, so it's probably never going to Terra Grass. But it also means that the trick room is going to be pretty hard for him to set up because, well, actually, there is a decent chance that. Oh, I was gonna say there's a decent chance that you could run Overcoat for Uniclus, but because of the neutralizing gas, it's still gonna be able to be put to sleep by the spore. So I think Ford is in a really commanding position again because he can easily spore into um the Uniclus spot. The Weezing can click a poison move into the Screen Tail slot, and Screen Tail is still a couple of turns from being able to actually take out the wheezing with psychic noise, which at a point in time, like it actually managed to take it out. Toadscroll could easily put the rest of LittEleven's team to sleep. So it's a pretty dangerous spot when none of Lit's other Pokemon have a Grass Terra, and we've already seen where the safety goggles is. This Toadscroll is in a very commanding position right now. But Toadscroll opts to switch out instantly with a Protect on the Wheezing. I can expect to see the Psychic Noise goes into that double Psychic move straight into the Wheezing spot. Um, I can understand wanting to get Regigigas in to do damage, but I do think that Fort was in a completely fine spot to just put Reuniclus to sleep because, like I said, we've already seen the safety goggles, and Overcoat would not have been able to be in effect because of neutralizing cast. So we
Exactly.
will
Yeah, and he'd
see.
gain a lot from doing that. I feel like this
I
Yeah,
bet he
Uniclus
because
is a
forgot that he
problem.
could just put it to sleep, but
Ooh,
yeah, that worked.
yeah.
oh, I mean,
He's
we do see
putting it to sleep for
uh
the rest of the game, I guess. Okay.
Regigigas one hit kills the Reuniclus, which is
That's kind of
incredibly shocking to me. I'm not sure like
yeah, that
if that is
that seems I don't know. I like head calcs, that should not be happening.
yeah, that seems incredibly strange. Oh wait, this is not damage calc. Okay.
Because I am curious. Um
Because
yeah, I guess take off slow start, but
no, I mean
well,
that would have to be even if
that would have
Reuniclus
to
is
be
minimum
no
bulk,
bulk or like I guess what my
yeah,
thought was is that is that banned or
choice man
I
or
don't
dark glass
I
yeah,
believe it's
a
choice
boosting
banded.
item.
oh my god.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to be a choice item to like guarantee this
Yeah.
kind of damage because there's no reason that Uniclus wouldn't be running bulb because usually when mons don't run bulb, it's like speedier mons who like are trying to like speed creep
Yeah, that's
someone.
what I'm saying. Like
Because
you
this is a Uniclus,
if
I
you're
find it just
if
really
you're
hard to
no
beat
bulk
that.
Uniclus,
Oh, like, what are you doing?
I
Yeah,
think you're
you're a
on
hard
crack,
fucking team.
dude. You're
Yeah, so like
drunk.
I'm not surprised that
Like
this
that
project is probably a boosting item. Finding out that choice man, it's not surprising at all because I think even like dark glasses, it's like was it black glasses? Yes, black glasses. Yeah, I mean black glasses is Rodriguez is yeah, yeah, choice man makes sense to me. But yeah, now I mean the Weezing can still protect one more turn, and the Regigigas can click knock off one more time. So with the Reuniclus going down, LittEleven should bring another Mon, ideally with Protect, and I think he'd try to scout out the Protect from the Weezing, just double protect his Mon so they can guarantee remove the Weezing, and then both the Regigigas and Toadscroll from then on should be much more manageable. We'll
Absolutely.
see. Oh, but Weezing clicks
Splitting?
Pain Split.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's a great click.
There's Parrot Ghost.
Which
Yep.
notably, you see that even though there is a Q block on the Weezing, it does not stop the move Pain Split from being clicked. Because normally, regular healing moves or like even like a Citrus Berry on the Weezing would not be able to proc under the effects of Psychic Noise. But specifically, Pain Split does not register in the game as a healing move. Because, I mean, there's a chance that it just doesn't heal or even takes away your HP. So it's one of the ways that you can actually heal your Mon while under the effects of Psychic Noise. So that's massive for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the terror from Regigigas into Ghost at the start of this turn. Clearly expecting a fighting move to be directed into the Regigigas. So you can see Psychic Noise goes into the Weezing once more. Knock off into the Screen Tail, double targeting it. And Hammer Arm just completely thuds into the Regigigas. So that is really bad for Lit. We find out that it's Assault Vest. Knockoff does pitiful damage, and we find out that Choice Man. And it doesn't look like yeah. By looking at what we have here, we can see like Hammer Arm Ice Punch. I'm guessing that this is a Iron Fist Conkelder. It could be.
It definitely could be
Could be.
Guts. Just well, no. I mean, it can't be Guts.
I mean,
it would
it could. I mean, it
would have
could be
gotten
Guts, but,
procced,
like,
right? Already. If
I mean,
it's
no. I
Flame
mean,
Orb,
if he's
right?
Guts, he just wouldn't be uh uh Status Orb, which I completely understand because under the effects of neutralizing gas, you don't get the Guts boost, and if you run something like a Flame Orb, you're just neutering your own attack.
Yeah.
So I presume it's just Iron Fist because Sheer Force would want Life Orb, but again, Life Orb, Sheer Force again wouldn't work under the effects of neutralizing gas.
Yeah. I don't know what it
Yeah.
does actually.
Let me see Regigigas,
Blast
Turn Blast does
big chunk.
ton.
Kills the conch.
Yeah, and I think Fort cleans up this game probably with whatever Mon comes in. Articuno apparently is his last this game and manages to pick up
That's wraps
comfortably without the Assault Vest. Yeah.
That was surprisingly dominant.
I don't know if it was surprisingly dominant. I think it was specifically the Pain Split, being able to get back all the HP from the Screen Tail because it looked like Screen Tail had enough turns to just like whittle it down without for its neutralizing gas duel being able to put enough work. But because of the Pain Split into the Screen Tail, which has like an insanely high base HP stat, it basically regained all its HP, and so far it got enough turns off to do enough damage. And again, the Trick Room never actually went off for Lit because for turn one double Screen Tail with both Taunt and Spore, which rendered its effectiveness to like being just a HP pack for the Weezing, which was very bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And also the Reuniclus just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just completely dropped. I think we mentioned at the beginning of Lit's probable best way to play this is prioritizing taking out the Weezing, and that just never came to fruition. I think Ford did a great job at protecting or like playing to keep the Weezing around for sure.
Yeah.
And it absolutely paid off.
Yeah, I think it's just a couple stuff in prep that caught Lit off guard game one. One is Pain Split, which allowed it even with the Psychic Noise to regain HP. The second of all is that you can see that Lit actually did have Terror Fighting on his Reuniclus, and if he anticipated that Regigigas would be able to take out the Reuniclus in one hit, then I'm sure he would have actually Terror the Reuniclus to be able to like resist the move and to throw the hit into the Weezing, which I do think that Lit should have done either way because like you do see that the Regigigas is Terra Ghost, which does signify to me like I expected Terra Blast Ghost more than I expected Choice Bandit knockoff. And I do think that a Terra Blast Ghost, even non-boosting item, might do a lot to it. Like Ghost. Yeah, see, Terra Blast Ghost, even just to like max HP, is an Oko without a boosting item on it. So I'm very surprised that Lit just didn't choose Terra, knowing that it was so important to take out the Wheezing. Yeah, I think he just didn't respect Pain Split and didn't respect the Regigiga's damage. So we will see how he adapts for game 2. So game 2 starts, we see and the Wheezing in the lead now, and once again we see the Berserker in the lead. Now again, we know that the Berserker isn't running Fake Out, but Fort doesn't know that yet. So we'll see how he chooses to respond. Instantly, we see a double out of the Reuniclus, perhaps like expecting the Regigigas to target it again, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because the stuff that Reuniclus is weak to, like the knockoff and the Terra Blast Ghost, yeah,
this
that stuff
also
is
doesn't want to get knocked
weak
off.
too.
I feel like the better play. I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
the
just either
better
Terra
play
or
is
Reuniclus.
exactly. Which
Yeah.
I guess I don't
So
know if you want to do, but frankly, I don't feel like you have many better options. I think Terra fighting on the Reuniclus does a lot for you.
yeah, I do think like he probably should have added Terra to Reuniclus because I mean
Especially
sports
in this
like
spot, honestly.
yeah, because like I think with this kind of team of like Wheezing neutralizing gas, you expect like the two most common leads you're gonna expect is Wheezing plus Regigigas and Wheezing plus Toadscroll. And if you're planning to one of the two most common leads is to be forced to switch from one Dark plus Ghost Week into another Dark plus Ghost Week, I don't think that's a great game plan, especially
Yeah.
considering that you yourself know that you don't have to fake out into the Regigigas slot. So we see a knockoff straight into Dustclaws, which basically
Still
makes it
does
completely useless for the rest of this
much.
battle. It even gets poisoned for good measure. Close combat goes off into the Regigigas, but it doesn't kill probably because he doesn't get a Tough Claws boost. It does look that even with the Tough Claws boost, it wouldn't actually have killed, but it allows for it to go for an easy knockoff into the slot because the poison did go off on the Dustclaws just now, and we did see that he already did 14%. So the Weezing is free to target this slot while the knockoff goes into the screen kill slot. So like Lit has found himself into a horrid position once more. And it doesn't even choose to go for the KO, it just goes for the taunt, which works equally well because it still dies to the poison. Now we do see that the Reuniclus has decided Terra, but it's Terraing in a position where the Scream Tail is already disabling the Regigigas, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Like unless he's trying to kill the Regigigas within this move and it's not running Focus Blast and for example running Terra Blast fighting as his best way to hit it. But frankly, I do think that a psychic move from this range should be able to pick out the Regigigas, and knowing that you can disable the choice locked Regigigas, you should strictly be targeting the Wheezing. So I don't understand why he's targeting this turn instead when you know that you can have a fast disable into the Regigigas and just click Psychic Move into the Wheezing. So that's a strange choice from LittEleven for me. Like if you want to turn turn one, turn this turn, doesn't do that much for me. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying Hayes?
I don't know, just saying I agree with that fully.
Yeah. So you see knockoff is disabled, poison move goes screen kill, and a psychic goes into the Wheezing. So you see like very specially bulky, very
Immediately, immediate
Yep.
swap.
Yeah, I hope that it. Okay,
There you go.
I like that because yeah, knowing that the screen tail is going to be able to take out the Wheezing, he chose to set up Trick Room in the Uniclus instead. It was either going to be Trick Room or an attack from Uniclus into this slot here, whatever it was. For obviously he had to switch out to Gigas, he wasn't going to let it struggle. So I do think that attack in the hero free, but I think Trick Room was probably the better choice. Unfortunately, that doesn't put Lit in a much better position. Obviously, Ridiculous underspeeds the Wheezing and can take it out here, but the Toadscruel is probably still going to be able to put someone to sleep because the City Goggles is knocked off, and I mean the Ridiculous, if it's running Overcoat, should be able to take out a Wheezing, so it gets Overcoat back if it has it and can't get put to sleep for this, but the Toadscruel itself might just be able to click Trick Room here if it carries it. So we see a switch out into Berserker, a target into Wheezing as expected. And yep, as
Pulling out Trick Room,
expected,
yeah.
the
That's very
Toadscruel just
nice.
clicks. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I expected, which once again puts LittEleven in a really bad slot because he swapped out his Fastmon, intending to abuse the Trick Room, but either wasn't anticipating Toadscruel to carry Trick Room or just didn't think it would click it.
And
So-
now this Articuno is on the field, which
Yeah, the Articuno is on the
it's
field.
definitely an advantage state if it can kind of maintain this. You probably don't want Trick Room here for sure with it, kind of.
Yeah.
But I feel like you
For
can set
one-
up with it, frankly, at this point.
Well, I don't think you necessarily set up with it, but I do think that it's actually a even-ish position because there's no fast spore from Toadscruel anymore. I think it does get Rage Powder, so but I don't think if it's gonna Rage Powder it should set up. I think it should be aiming towards Articuno taking out
Yeah.
the Ridiculous slot. And whatever move it clicks into it, I would presume KOs the Screen Tail at 11%. So even swapping out
Yeah,
to save it.
absolutely.
Yeah. The one thing is that you know for the first game that the Berserker is Assault Vest. So it's a bit hard for Articuno to get out in one, and even if the Toadscruel is running something like Earth Power, it's probably gonna do only about like a little under 50% from my hit counts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we see a Freezing Glare.
Oh, crit Freezing Glare. Oh.
I don't know if the crit matters. One, it will depend on how these two mons are being trained, but it could have mattered, and if it did, that's really unfortunate. That probably seals up the game. The knockoff fails to KO. Yep, it's spectacle. I don't think it ever mattered.
And then the Spore into
Spore goes, and I think that effectively locks out the game. Because Psychic Noise goes into that slot.
Just attack
which doesn't do too much. And now both Pokemon are asleep. The fact that he chose to click Spore into the slot instead of an attacking move.
Yeah, I feel like you should just attack into that slot. But...
No, it signifies to me that I don't think this even has an attacking move.
No, it just clicked Reflect too. I don't think it's there you go. What the fuck? Okay.
That is insanely disrespectful. I'm not sure if Lit just doesn't.
It worked. I don't know if I agree, but I mean it worked. So
yeah, clearly it was good enough to be able to win this game. So okay,
a good 2-0 from Port Colors.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean 2-0 from Fort. I think in general, Fort just prepped way better for what Lit was aiming to do, and I don't think Lit prepped well or had good leads into what Fort was purely signifying from his team that he was aiming to do. So
that Terra really came back to bite him.
The Terra? Oh yeah, the Terra on
the Terra fighting.
yeah, like the refusal to Terra turn